Hey everyone, welcome back. If you've ever typed portable versus bench pH meter into Google, you've probably found 10 articles that just repeat a spec sheet at you and call it a day. That's not what this is. Today we're going to walk through the differences that actually change a buying decision for a lab like yours. Whether you're running QC in pharma, managing an ETP, or just trying to figure out which instrument to put in front of your technicians. Let's get into it. So here's where I want to start, because I think most people ask the wrong question. The question isn't which instrument is better. Resolution numbers, accuracy specs, they matter, sure. But the real question is much simpler. Where do you actually take your readings? Because the instrument that survives your actual sampling environment and gives you the records your SOP needs is the one that's worth buying, even if it's not the one with the flashiest spec sheet. Let's put both side by side so you can see the full picture at a glance. Benchtop gives you tighter resolution, 0.001 picohenries versus 0.01 on a portable, and it typically comes with stronger documentation. Portable wins on IP rating, and it's built for field and ETP work. Keep this table in mind, because we're going to unpack almost every row of it over the next few minutes. Let's talk numbers. A benchtop resolves down to 0.001 picohenries, with accuracy around plus or minus 0.002. A portable resolves to 0.01 picohenries, with accuracy more like plus or minus 0.01 to 0.02. Now, if you're doing QC or stability testing close to a specification limit, that extra decimal place on the benchtop gives you real margin. But if you're doing a field or ETP spot check against a discharge limit, 0.01 is usually more than enough. And here's the pro tip I always give people. Don't buy resolution your SOP can't use. If you're only reporting to one decimal place, that 0.001 picohenries benchtop is solving a problem you don't actually have, and you're paying for it. Quick explainer on ATC, because people ask about this a lot. pH is temperature dependent, so the exact same solution can give you a different raw reading depending on the temperature. Here you can see it. 6.98 at 20 degrees, 7.06 at 30 degrees. Same solution. ATC automatic temperature compensation corrects that back to a reference temperature, so both readings land at 7.00. The good news is, this is standard on most instruments today, benchtop or portable. What still differs is the hardware behind it. Benchtops often pair with a separate, more precise temperature probe, while portables usually use a combined pH and ATC electrode in one. Now let's talk about the electrode itself, because this matters more than people give it credit for. Benchtop electrodes are typically glass-bodied, built for a stable bench environment, but more fragile if you knock them around. Portable electrodes are usually epoxy-bodied, built to survive being dipped straight into a tank, a drain, or a field sample point. So if your samples are viscous, high-end solids, or you're testing right at the source, say an ETP outlet, the electrode's build quality matters just as much as what's on the meter's display. This is where portables really separate themselves. A lot of portable meters carry an IP67 rating, that's dust tight, and rated to survive brief submersion, up to about a meter. That's built for exactly the environment ETP and field engineers work in every day. Wet hands, splashes, the occasional drop near the sample point. Benchtop instruments simply aren't built for that, and you shouldn't take them into it. Now, for anyone working under GLP, pharma QC especially, documentation is often the deciding factor. Benchtop meters generally give you stronger data logging, GLP printouts, USB, or 232 rupees export, sometimes even a direct LIMS connection. That's what supports a full audit trail. Who calibrated, when, with which buffer lot, what the slope was. You can see a sample log here. Portable meters are catching up and increasingly log data too. But if your SOP requires printed GLP records or NABL traceable calibration tied to every single reading, double-check that specific model's capability before you buy. Calibration itself is pretty similar across both instrument types. You're doing a 2 or 3 point calibration against standard buffers, typically pH 4.01, 7.00, and then either 9.21 or 10.01. What differs is the context it happens in. A benchtop gets calibrated under stable bench conditions, usually once a shift. A portable often gets calibrated out in the field, where the ambient temperature is a lot less predictable. Before you calibrate either one, run through this checklist. Confirm ATC is enabled. Use a fresh in-date buffer standard. Record the buffer lot number. and rinse the electrode with sample, not distilled water, before that final reading. And this next one is important enough that I want to call it out on its own slide. Never store a pH electrode dry. It doesn't matter whether it's sitting on a benchtop or riding around in a field kit. A dry electrode gives you drifting, unreliable readings, full stop. Always store it in KCl storage solution. Never dry, and never in distilled water long term. This one habit prevents more bad data than almost anything else on this list. Let's talk money, because the sticker price is actually the smallest part of this decision. Here's an illustrative 3-year comparison. Benchtop tends to have a higher upfront cost, but lower ongoing electrode spend. Portable is usually cheaper upfront, but electrode and consumable turnover tends to run higher because of the rougher handling that comes with field use. These numbers are illustrative, so treat them as a framework. Confirm the real numbers against actual model quotes and your own usage pattern before you commit. So let's bring this together into an actual decision. Choose benchtop if you're doing QC or stability testing. You need GLP documentation. Your samples come to the lab and you need the tightest resolution available. Choose portable if you're testing right at the point of sample ETP outlets, field sites, and you need that IP-rated durability with 0.01 picohenries resolution being enough for your SOP. And honestly, a lot of labs land on choose both a benchtop for routine QC and a portable for spot checks and field verification. Before we wrap up, let's talk about the mistakes we see most often. Number 1, buying a benchtop for field work because it's more accurate, and then watching it not survive the environment. Number 2, buying a portable for pharma QC without first checking whether it can actually produce the documentation your SOP requires. And number 3, the big one, skipping electrode maintenance. Regardless of which instrument you own, that's the single biggest cause of drifting readings we hear about. So not sure which instrument actually fits your application? That's exactly what we're here for. Download our pH meter buying checklist using the link below, or just send us your requirement directly on WhatsApp. No pressure. We'll help you match the spec to the right instrument. You can find everything at SciSpectrum.in. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.